Look at this thing. Look how stubby this thing is. Hey guys, Omar here. Today we're looking at the 70-200 f4 by Sony, and Sony is not the first to make a stubby little pocketable, carry everywhere 70-200 millimeter lens. A few years ago, Canon with their RF line did just that. However, this guy has a little trick under its hood. You thought I was going to say sleeve, right? But no, it did, boo-boo. This 70-200 f4 is actually a macro lens as well. So looking at some sample images here, I shot this wall in New York City just to check corner sharpness. Everything looks good there. One of the main concerns when purchasing an f4 is how much background separation, how much bokeh. Can I shoot portraits with it? Will I miss my 85mm 1.4? The answer is maybe. It depends. So I'm going to show you some images that are taken at f4 so you can kind of get a sense. So this was one of my favorites. This woman was wearing a beautiful yellow dress and red Jordans. I mean, come on. That is photo worthy. She was with kids, so I didn't want to run over and be like, can I make a portrait of you, creepo? But this is kind of shows off a little bit of the bokeh in the background and the separation that you can get with the f4. So what are you missing out on as far as full length body bokeh goes? Well, this right here is a portrait at 1.4, and this right here is the f4. So you could look at these side by side and decide if you are a 1.4 shooter, what are you missing out on? But the thing is, this lens is so versatile for other things, for travel, for landscapes. So me personally, I'm a portrait photographer, so I would miss that 1.4 when I need it. But if you're a landscape photographer, travel photographer, even a wedding photographer, the f4 is completely fine. And most people don't even notice this stuff if you just show them. They couldn't even guess what aperture it is. And this little scene right here just shows you how versatile the lens was and how fun it was to use. So there was these little horsies in the corner in this field, but I also switched the camera to video mode to kind of get a little bit of the flowers. And then using the macro ability of the lens, I was able to get really close up to the flowers. So 3 sort of looks there. And then we did the old ketchup test. This is 70 millimeters right here, 70 millimeters. And this is also 70 millimeters, but showing you the minimum, what it looks like at the minimum focus distance. And then if I were to back up and zoom to 200, you can get kind of the same perspective, the same 1-to-1 ratio, 70 to 200. So you can move back and also get the same shot with a little bit more compression. One thing that's interesting too about this one versus the Canon versions is you could actually put the extenders on these guys, 1.5, 2.0. So you can carry around an extender with you and make this an 800 millimeter lens, which is just insane. So here the drinks are at 200 millimeters, but then I backed up and got this shot at 200 millimeters, and you could get the just close-ups. I could see it being really great for a wedding photographer who doesn't want to carry around an extra macro lens. I tried to take some quick jewelry photos, and you would still need to focus stack maybe if you're doing macro work like this. But I photographed my watch. I tried it on the jewelry, and the pictures are sharp and great. And also with the 33 megapixels with the A7 IV, you could crop in if you are in a pinch and don't have a macro lens. I also found a dead bee. I did not kill the bee. I found a dead bee and I wanted to see if we could see all the little hairs in detail. So I couldn't fill the frame, but again, I could crop in and get a good picture of the detail on the bee. So it's nicely balanced on the A7 IV and feels pretty great. And the hood does make it a lot bigger. So I wish hoods were a little smaller. And one other concern that people have with these lenses is the extending tube, as opposed to being a lens that doesn't extend, is dust and moisture can get in. That would be kind of like a long-term review of someone that uses this out in the rain all the time.
Good morning, everyone.
It's like the size of my head. Very cool. That was a quick look at the 70-200 f4 from Sony, and I'll see you guys next time.